Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well on Friday morning. Here at Gurwin, the weather is beautiful outside. I hope many of you had a chance to go outside a little bit on the patio and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful fresh air as we're transitioning now from spring into summer. Yesterday was a little bit of a hot day. Wednesday also was a warm day in the 80s. So, but not too humid and certainly enjoyable outside. We're transitioning from the spring to the summer, and only nice weather will be ahead of us. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malachei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vo'achem leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vo'achem leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vo'achem leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In this week's Torah portion, we read the parsha of Naso. Naso means to carry. We carry the items from the temple, from the Beis HaMikdash, from the Mishkan. Now, who is carrying these items? The Levi, the sons of Levi, are carrying these items. And it's interesting to note that when it was time to build the temple, build the very first Mishkan, the house of God, God had a very interesting way to ask the Jewish people to give. He said, everyone give what they would like to give from their own, and we'll see what we have. Imagine a type of a fundraiser where there's no goal in mind and no certain amount of money you have to pay. Everyone give what they can, and we'll take it from there. So, it's not such a proactive way to collect money, but God wanted to see how the Jews would respond. And the tribe of Levi actually said something interesting. They said, you know what? We'll give at the end. Whatever is left over, we'll give. We'll fill that void. And money was given over and over and over again until to a point where they had all that they needed. And it was quite shocking, actually. Quite shocking that they were able to collect all the money they needed the first round. People were so excited to give to God's house, to the temple. And one of the things we learn from here is the idea of charity and giving from our heart, giving from a place where we want to give. And if the cause is great, then we can give from our heart. And people in general are so well-meaning that they'll be able to give fully, and anything they need to collect will be able to be collected. So that's one of the lessons we learn. We learn about each person giving on their own, each person giving what they can give. And when you have that attitude, the goal will be reached from within the community. Chad hodi lekras kalaf Oneg Shabbat nekabela lechad hodi lekras kalaf Pnei Shabbos nekabel Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmiyanu kelam yuchad Hashem echad u'shmo echad Shemo Tiferet v'lesila lechad odi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabel lekras Shabbos Gurwin Healthcare Ki mekar aviracha meirosh mikedem nesucha Sov maaseh b'machshavot chila lecha dodi likras kala B'nei Shabbos nekabel mikdash melech ir melucha Kol mitzi mitoch ha'avecha navlo shevet b'mekabacha hu yachamol alayechem lecha dodi kras kala B'nei Shabbos nekabel yulim shisa shos hayech v'racha kol mevala hayech yasis alayech elok hayech Kihim shezga sonau kala lecha dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabel avavi b'shalom atares bala Gam berina v'tzahala tochem unei am segula bavi kala Chadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabel. Another lesson we learn from this week's parsha is regarding the carrying itself. Now we know only people from age 30 to 50 were allowed to carry the vessels of the Mishkan because they're very heavy. People who are less than 30 were not considered strong enough. People over 50 as well, a little bit weaker. So only 30 to 50-year-olds were allowed to carry the equipment, the vessels for the temple. However, it's interesting to note that the commentators, the Talmud tells us that there was a miracle occurred during the carrying of the vessels, and literally the vessels carried the carriers. You could be someone who was not very strong. If you try to pick up the poles or the walls of the temple, they would magically be carried on their own to a point where the person needed to exert zero effort to carry them. It was quite a miracle, the carrying of the vessels. The vessels were made out of solid gold, copper, silver, very, very heavy equipment, yet they all seemed very light. It was a miracle. So the question is, if a miracle is occurring anyway, why don't we let young children carry? Well, we let older people carry. And one of the answers given is very astounding. God wanted to make the people feel good about themselves. If I'm between 35 years old and I have a job to carry the vessels, so although there's a miracle occurring and I'm not even carrying it, but I feel good about myself that I have this important job, I'm strong, I'm youthful, and I can go carry out the vessels and do this unbelievable kindness and help out the Jewish people. But if I know deep down, you know what, anyone could carry, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old could carry, I'm not going to feel good about myself. So God made it in a way that, yes, a miracle certainly occurred, and the people who were chosen to carry didn't really need to exert any strength. The vessels carried them on themselves, but at least we felt good about it. The people carrying felt they had a job, felt they had a purpose. And it's something, an important lesson for all of us, that sometimes you may feel, you know what am I doing here already? I'm not doing so much day in, day out. Maybe I don't really have such a purpose. The answer is no. You have a purpose. Even if you don't see what you're doing, we truly believe every single person in the world has a purpose. Adon olam asher molach v'terem kol yitzir nivra v'yez nasa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra v'yacharei kechlos hakol Levahado yemloch nora v'hoya v'holev v'yiyeh b'sifara v'hoechad v'yein sheni V'hamshila l'hachbira b'li reishin b'li sachlis v'lo ha'oz v'hamisra v'hokeli chai go'ali v'zor chavli v'yesh nasa Hunisi umanosli minas kosi biyom ekra biyahado avkid ruchi v'yesishon v'yahira v'yimruchi geviyasi ado shemli v'lo iram. Everyone have a happy and healthy Shabbat. Have a great weekend, and we'll see everybody next week.